In this video, I will demonstrate incredibly cool games at incredibly low prices that each of you can afford, and we will start today's list with Firewatch. Is a game puts you in the shoes of Henry, a man who takes a job as a firewatcher in the Wyoming wilderness in the late 1980s. But it's not just about watching the fires, it's about exploring the mysteries of the forest and solving personal problems. For one thing, every scene is like a painting come to life, from towering pines to serene lakes and breathtaking expanses. The plot is what drew me in from the beginning. You communicate with your boss, Delilah, via a portable walkie-talkie, and the relationship that develops between them is central to the game. The dialogues are witty and natural, making you feel like you really get to know these characters. Exploration is a big part of Firewatch. As you travel through the forest, you stumble upon all sorts of things, from abandoned campsites to hidden lookouts and even mysterious objects that hint at something more. It's a game that encourages you to take your time and immerse yourself in the atmosphere. The gameplay doesn't involve combat or action. It's more focused on wildlife, solving puzzles and making choices that affect the story. You will make decisions that can lead to different outcomes. One thing that struck me was the emotional depth of the narrative. Henry's personal issues and how they intertwine with the larger mystery kept me engaged until the very end. It's a story about isolation, guilt, and the search for meaning that resonated with me on a deep level. Dishonored II is a sequel to the action-adventure game Dishonored. Set 15 years after the original game, players travel to the city of Karnaca to uncover the conspiracy that has once again fallen on Daniel and Empress Emily Coldwin. In the process, players will meet both old familiar characters and brand new heroes. The main goal of the protagonists is to stop the imposter Delilah, who usurped the throne and is trying to destroy the main characters. The gameplay of the second part has changed insignificantly, but the variability of levels and replayability has increased. Players can still choose which way, brutal or not, to go through the missions, which in turn affects the ending of the game. In addition to Corvo Atano, Emily Coldwin has also become the main character of the sequel, and players can choose which of them they will take Dishonored 2 through. In addition, the developers added several new skills and new consumable items to the game. We are used to survival games, as a rule, taking place in the most uncomfortable conditions: darkness, impenetrable forest, zombies howling in your headphones, or some radioactive storm rumbling. You want to do everything necessary and never come back here again. But in Subnautica, on the contrary, you often want not to survive, but to live. Subnautica is an open-world survival game set in the depths of an alien ocean. After crash landing on an unknown planet, you must explore the underwater world, gather resources, and craft equipment to survive. The game offers a stunning underwater environment filled with diverse marine life and mysterious biomes. As you dive deeper, you'll uncover the secrets of the planet while managing your oxygen supply and avoiding dangerous creatures. When I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it quickly became clear why some consider it overrated. The game boasts an expansive open world set in ancient Greece during the Peloponnesian War, with stunning visuals and engaging combat mechanics. However, it feels more like a large expansion of Assassin's Creed Origins rather than a standalone game. The repetitive mission structure, lack of innovative mechanics, and superficial RPG elements were noticeable drawbacks. The narrative follows a mercenary, either Alexios or Cassandra, in a personal journey rather than focusing on historical events. The new dialogue system allows for choice-driven gameplay, impacting the story to some extent, but often these choices felt inconsequential. The exploration mode, intended to provide a more immersive experience by removing waypoint markers, was undermined by mandatory guidance prompts, detracting from the sense of discovery. Despite these issues, the main storyline and character interactions were well crafted, with memorable characters and a sense of adventure. The game also introduced large-scale battles and a mercenary system, adding layers of challenge and variety. However, the quality of side quests diminished as the game progressed, leading to repetitive and uninspired objectives. Overall, while Assassin's Creed Odyssey has its strengths in storytelling and world building, it suffers from a lack of depth and innovation in gameplay mechanics. It stands out more for its ambitious setting and narrative than for being a groundbreaking addition to the series. I recently got through Horizon Zero Dawn, and it blew my mind. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic world where robotic creatures roam the earth and humanity has reverted to a tribal society. You play as Arla, a skilled hunter who embarks on a journey to uncover her past and the secrets of the ancient world. Every environment feels alive and detailed, from lush forests to snowy mountains. The robotic creatures you will encounter have their own behaviors and weaknesses that you must learn to survive. One of the coolest features is Aloy's ability to control these machines and turn them into allies. Imagine riding a mechanical beast into battle or using it to distract enemies while you sneak by. This adds a whole new level of strategy to the gameplay. The story has many twists and turns and surprises that kept me in suspense throughout the game. Learning about the old world through ancient ruins and holograms is like piecing together a puzzle of human history. The combat is where Horizon Zero Dawn really shines. Aloy is agile and resourceful, using a variety of weapons like bows, slingshots, and traps to take down enemies. Tactical depth allows you to approach each encounter differently, whether it's stealth or scorching guns. The game itself encourages you to explore every corner, offering unique challenges and rewards for your efforts. Green Hell. The game is set in the Amazon jungle, where everything around you wants to kill you. From spiders lurking in the foliage to bloodthirsty cannibals and alligators, dirty water, poisonous fungi and plants, parasites, exhaustion, dehydration, fatigue, and even a simple scratch that will turn into a festering wound if not treated and bandaged in time. You can die from hunger or dehydration in the jungle even faster than from the claws of predators or the arrows of aggressive natives. So if you are looking for a challenging game, which will be even interesting to play with friends in co-op, and you are not afraid of naturalistic details, Green Hell is the perfect game for you. Unlike AEA class projects, it is inexpensive, and at a discount, you can get it even cheaper. Battlefield 1 is a multiplayer shooter dedicated to the events of the First World War. Players will battle up to 64 players in a variety of locations, including a captured French city, the Italian Alps, and the Arabian deserts. As usual in the series, players have access to a variety of vehicles: tanks, motorcycles, biplanes, battleships, and all of them are made in the spirit of the era. In addition to multiplayer modes, the game also offers a single-player campaign, the events of which unfold in different parts of the world and familiarize players with different stages of the First World War. There are many places to visit, from the desert to Central Europe, which is almost completely devastated by the war. GRIS is a beautifully crafted platformer in which you play as a girl named GRIS, who explores her emotions and copes with loss. The visuals of the game are stunning, as if every frame is a work of art. The game uses colors to represent different emotions and stages of the story, which is a very creative touch. The gameplay itself is pretty relaxed. You're not rushing around fighting enemies or anything like that. Instead, you're solving puzzles and moving through dreamlike environments. The music is another standout. It's so atmospheric and fits the mood of each scene perfectly. It really draws you into what's going on. Interestingly, the game unfolds without text or dialogue. It tells a story through visuals, animations, and music alone, which makes it feel like you're playing a painting or a poem. It's definitely more about the journey and emotional experience than the task at hand. The game may seem short, or not challenging enough if they are looking for intense gameplay. But if you like games that are all about artistry and emotional impact, GRIS will seem like a great choice. It also seems to be one of those games that stays with you even after you're done playing. Little Nightmares is a creepy, atmospheric game in which you play as a small character named Six, trying to escape from a mysterious ship called the Maw. The game's visuals are dark and haunting, and the detailed environments create a sense of terror and unease. The gameplay is a mixture of puzzle and stealth. You'll have to sneak past grotesque enemies and solve puzzles to advance. The atmosphere in the game is tense, and the creepy music and sound effects add to the tension. The game doesn't use dialogue, but tells a story through the environment and the characters' actions. It's about survival and uncovering the secrets of the Maw, which keeps you engaged and curious to see what happens next. Although the game is short, it has a good pace and keeps you in suspense the whole time. The puzzles are clever but not too stressful, and the design of the enemies and environments is really striking.
Sleep. Oh shit!
Resident Evil 2 Remake is a re-release of the famous horror game for modern systems. The game has completely redesigned graphics, support for high resolutions, as well as the ability to choose the camera position, as in RE2 or RE4. Players are waiting for a familiar story about the misadventures of several heroes, Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield, who are trying to get out of the city of Raccoon City, covered by the epidemic of a monstrous virus that escaped from the laboratories of corporations Umbrella. Players will encounter zombified humans, unpredictable survivors, and other creatures that can no longer be categorized as human. The single-player first-person shooter Metro Exodus is the third in the Metro series and further developed the series' capabilities. RPG elements, advanced customization, and an exciting storyline have appeared, in which the hero of the previous games, Artem, leaves the Moscow metro and travels across post-apocalyptic Russia by train. You must scavenge for resources, manage your equipment, and make choices that affect your journey's outcome. The atmospheric environments and immersive storytelling make Metro Exodus a standout experience, and most importantly, not that expensive. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. It's a game that delves into the psychological journey of Senua, a Celtic warrior who embarks on a quest through the Viking underworld. The game's graphics are incredibly realistic and perfectly captures the eerie beauty of the dark fantasy world. Gameplay-wise, the game combines intense combat with puzzle solving and exploration. What's really cool is how the game depicts Senua's struggle with psychosis. It uses binaural sound to mimic the voices in her head, creating an immersive experience where you feel the full weight of her mental battles. The story touches on themes of loss, trauma, and resilience. As you progress through, you unravel Senua's past and the mysteries of Norse mythology intertwined with her journey. It's not just about fighting enemies, but understanding Senua's inner turmoil and what she is willing to do to confront her demons. A distinctive feature of the game is that neuroscientists and people suffering from psychosis were involved in its development. The game is not very long, but every moment feels thoughtful and meaningful. The puzzles are thoughtful, the combat is visceral, the narrative is engaging, and the price is low. What else do you need to be happy? The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, final part of the trilogy. Compared to the second part, the game has been transformed. The combat system has become a bit simpler and more elaborate. Signs have become more useful, and Geralt himself now appears to players as a real monster hunter, a man who fulfills contracts to destroy monsters. In addition to the main storyline, the events of which unfold on 3 huge locations, Geralt can also explore the Northern Kingdoms, helping people with their problems, or just traveling for fun. Geralt has a personal horse at his disposal, as well as the ability to move quickly between locations. In addition, The Witcher 3 includes several new mini-games, among which there is even a collectible card game. The Witcher 3's deep combat system, numerous side quests, and moral choices make it a standout in the genre. When I first played Assassin's Creed Unity, the technical issues were immediately noticeable. Released in 2014, the game was plagued by bugs and glitches, which overshadowed many of its positive aspects. However, Ubisoft's effort in recreating Paris during the French Revolution was truly impressive. The city's architecture and atmosphere were stunningly detailed, making exploration a visual treat. The storyline follows Arnaud Dorian, a young assassin seeking redemption and justice, set against the backdrop of revolutionary France. While the narrative had potential, it often felt somewhat superficial and predictable. Despite this, the historical context and the vibrant living city helped maintain my interest. Gameplay improvements were evident, especially in parkour and combat mechanics. The fluidity of movement across the rooftops of Paris was significantly enhanced compared to previous entries in the series. Combat was also more refined, with a focus on timing and precision. One of the standout features was the introduction of cooperative multiplayer missions, allowing players to team up and tackle objectives together. This added a fresh dynamic to the series, though it wasn't without its own set of bugs and connectivity issues. Despite its rocky launch, Unity had several strengths. The detailed and immersive recreation of Paris, improved gameplay mechanics, and the innovative co-op missions showed that Ubisoft had ambitious goals. Had the game been given more development time to iron out its numerous issues, it could have been one of the best entries in the series. Instead, it remains a mixed bag, remembered as much for its failures as for its accomplishments. Far Cry Primal. I was immediately drawn in by its unique prehistoric setting. Unlike other games in the series, this one is set in 10,000 BCE and you play as Takar, a member of the Wenja tribe. The primary goal is to reunite your scattered tribe and establish a settlement in the land of Oros. The game's environment is lush and detailed, with a strong focus on survival elements such as crafting weapons and taming wild animals. The storyline, while simple, fits well with the prehistoric theme. Takar's mission to rebuild his tribe and fend off rival clans is straightforward but engaging, largely due to the immersive world and the constant need to gather resources and hunt. The ability to tame and control animals adds a unique dynamic to the gameplay, making exploration and combat more interesting. However, the game isn't without its flaws. The missions can become repetitive, and the main antagonist, Earl, doesn't appear frequently enough to leave a lasting impression. Despite this, the depiction of survival in a prehistoric era, combined with the game's impressive visuals and atmosphere, kept me hooked. Overall, Far Cry Primal offers a fresh take on the series with its innovative mechanics and setting. It successfully merges survival gameplay with the rich, immersive world of the Stone Age, making it a memorable experience despite its narrative shortcomings.